What do you see when you look inside a human brain? I see a forest of trees, and let me tell you why. There are over 80 billion neurons in the human brain, but let's just look at one. The neuron, aka the nerve cell, sends and receives signals or electrical impulses from our brain. And doesn't it quite resemble a tree? Like branches with leaves absorbing sunlight, the dendrites receive inputs from other cells. Then this input is transmitted through the soma and into the axon or the tree trunk, and eventually reaches the axon terminals or the roots, which finally sends its outputs to other neurons. And just like how a tree has its bark, the neuron has the myelin sheath. In a neuron without a myelin sheath, the electrical impulse travels like this. However, with the myelin sheath, it travels like this. So what about the myelin sheath allows the electrical signals in our brain to travel so much faster? Myelin is made of protein and fatty substances, so it acts as an insulator. The myelin sheath contains periodic breaks called nodes of Ranvier. By jumping from node to node, the electrical impulse can travel much more quickly than if it had to travel along the entire length of the axon. In essence, the myelin sheath speeds up the communication of our nervous system. However, myelin is not something that we're born with. In fact, myelination starts as soon as a baby is born and is one of the reasons why the baby's brain grows and develops so much in the first 2 years. When we get older, the amount of myelinated axons also decreases as it's a natural part of aging. But demyelination, which is when the myelin sheath is damaged, is unnatural and is dangerous. And it is one of the leading causes of neurological diseases, including multiple sclerosis or MS. MS can be diagnosed and visualized through MRI or magnetic resonance imaging. So let's look at a couple of MRI scans. Moving left to right, MS in the patient's brain progressively worsens. Do you notice any patterns? We can see that the white spots get bigger and brighter. These are areas of abnormal demyelination, reflecting damage to the myelin sheath. There are many diseases linked to demyelination, and these diseases affect millions of people. And yet we know very little about how myelin is disrupted, how axons degenerate after demyelination, or how to remyelinate. As our society ages, it is essential that we research more about myelin, the bark of our brain's trees, to cure these diseases.